Hello everybody and welcome to a review of Alya Sometimes Hides Her Feelings in Russian Episode 2. Now, look, last week was the epitome of Alya's first debut. It was almost like she was the epitome of what it takes to be best girl of the summer. Now, when I said this summer is going to be the toughest pick for best girl of the summer, I meant that. Because if you go back from the winter to the fall, winter to the spring, and now this, summer 2024 is going to be the toughest call to call out who's best girl. Because there's a plethora of waifus for the summer of 2024. There's a whole lot. Alya is in the top three of the summer. Because the first episode I saw her, it was like, she's Japanese, but her feelings, she's lash out in Russian. Not lash out, but she speaks Russian. So any emotions or nothing, you go into Russian. And then you got this guy who speaks Russian and knows what she's saying in Russian. So that all makes sense. Thus, the rom-com and the harem is falling. Now, thus, the harem starts. Now, here's the thing about this, guys. I just finished episode 2. And you know what? Episode 2 kind of like, what the hell was that? Look, guys, after I finished watching the second episode, I legit look outside my window, and I looked outside, staring at the heat, because it's so fucking hot today. I stared outside the heat, and I'm like, what is anime? Like, because this episode really, I did not see this coming. I know some of y'all had your suspicions, and you already had your suspicions already, but for this one, I didn't think this. So without further ado, this is why. I'm going to tell you why. But without further ado, let's get right to it with Alya Sometimes Hides Her Feelings in Russian Episode 2 review, because my brain just brain fuck after watching this. So let me get this straight. This episode is dedicated to one character, and it's not Alya. I know Alya is the most important girl of the show. It's Yuki. Yuki. You know, when I first saw her and she said it was a childhood friend, I thought that Masachika and Yuki, they're childhood friends. They live next door to each other. They live across the street for those kind of simple childhood friends, live in the same area. Those are your typical childhood friends. I get that. So Alya is competing against Yuki for the student council president. They got this rivalry going on, and the rivalry started since the first episode. Now, here's what I did not suspect. Yuki is Masachika's little sister. I didn't know. It's like I had my suspicion. Well, no, matter of fact, let me pause it for a bit. I didn't think that. I know people already had suspicions already because, oh, look, they have the same hair color, so they're brother and sister. I wasn't aware of that. I was just looking at it from the visual standpoint and their names. I was just looking at it like, oh, they're childhood friends, simple. But again, the fact that Yuki, the fact that Masachika has a little sister named Yuki and Yuki is her, I legit did not see that coming. I wasn't aware of that. I was surprised, wait, that's your sister? And the first thing that came to my mind was this. Is this Yushoku no Sora? Is this Yushoku no Sora? Is this Kiss Exist? Is this Shin Imao Testament? Because this is a Shin Imao Testament moment. You know that scene in the first episode of Shin Imao Testament? Where, I forgot her name, but I remember the show. It's the one with the red hair girl. She's on top of Basura as he was waking up. So this scene, his little sister is on top of him. And I'm like, she's a trolling little sister. She trolling this guy on top of him when he's in bed. and literally said, "Oh, you got a stiffy?" I'm like, this girl is sick. She is the ultimate troll. And again, the fact that Masachika, the fact that Masachika's little sister is Yuki, by the way, which again, that's kind of like the biggest twist I didn't expect. Like, again, I know people who said they saw their suspicions on it. I know people said, oh, yeah, they were so obvious because their hair color. Again, I wasn't even aware about that. I was just looking at from the visuals and just looking at the characters, but I never thought that. I ain't know they were brother and sister. That's just me. So they go out shopping, and then here come Alya just spying on them. And this is one of those, like all rom-coms, there's a shopping scene. So like all rom-coms, we bound to have a beach scene, cultural festival scene, all those things wrapped around people's head. Okay, we're gonna get that. And again, the rivalry that these two have goes, I won't say goes way back, but again, the beginning of episode 2 showed, I hate going back, but the beginning of episode 2 showed how Masachika is praising Yuki, but if Alya, she's talking Russian, like, pay attention to me in Russian. Come, look at me. She's saying it in Russian, even though he knows what she's saying. So the whole rivalry these two have is going to be epic. And then Yuki is just, again, trolling the hell out of her. I mean, literally just, like, going to the spicy ramen restaurant, the Hell's Paradise. I call it Hell's Paradise. And trying on the spiciest ramen to a point where Yuki was like, oh, we share the same bed together. I mean, I was in a room with him sharing a bed, and it's like the background of the characters, the customers were listening to it. They're like, huh? What? They all die and laugh. They all got their eyes bugged out. Now, props for Alya trying on spicy ramen. Look, when it comes to spicy food, your butthole's gonna burn. We all know when it comes to spicy food, your butthole's gonna burn. And drink plenty of milk for this one. Alya, she tried. Props for her efforts. She tried. I mean, even Yuki went over the top. She's like, here, if you take this little thing, you could dip a little more. It's like you went from level. It's like trying on spicy. It's like eating spicy wings. You know the show Hot Ones? Like, they go by level of wings, and it gets hot when you put the hot sauce in. So it's like the scorching level was a 9, but you want to make it to a 10 and an 11. And for Alya to just dip the little thing to make it more spicy, she took it. I mean, now, the whole shopping thing. Okay, now let's talk about this. Let's talk about this that's been trending on Twitter because, this has been going on Twitter, and I saw it. Alya changing. Okay. They didn't, I don't know what they were doing to that, but they made a job screenshotting Alya. They made a screenshot of Alya just taking off her clothes. Like, this is my dress up darling. And if you go back to my dress up darling, you see Kitagawa taking off her clothes, and everybody's looking at it like, oh my God. And kind of like the girl from 2.5 Seduction. Everybody's talking about that too. So when Alya is changing, they show us screenshots of, we went from, it's funny because first episode we went from foot fetish to now butt fetish. This is the Keijo thing. Now she tried her outfit, and both are embarrassed to say what they want. But again, the worst case scenario that Alya has, as soon as she tried on one that was so schemy, so revealing in one way, dun, 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 here come the sister. Damn, so embarrassed. Now, here's the thing. When Masachika and Yuki got off the train together, Alya was like, it's like you get that brain fart in your head, like, wait, what? Because she's like putting the pieces together. She's like, wait a minute, they got off the train together? Share the same bed? Why? What? It's like she's putting all the effing pieces together. So now that she's putting all the pieces together, like, wait a minute, they got off the train together. Isn't that weird? Now she's putting all the pieces together. But again, that's how it ended. But overall, this was a lovable, funny episode. Again, the fact that Yuki is Masachika's little sister. I wasn't aware of that. I know people had their suspicions. I know people thought about it already, like, oh, they have the same hair color. They're related. Like, we should have known that. Again, I wasn't aware of that. I was just like glued on it. And the fact that we got more Alya screenshots of her, from the foot fetish from the first episode to now a butt, to her showing her changing her outfit. I mean, again, we're gonna see more of those later on, and again, with more Russian languages along the way. But again, the rivalry that these two have is going to be epic. And as for the MC, look, the MC this is a harem anime if you think about it. Because if you look at all the harems, what does every harem anime have? You got one main girl, you got one with the big boobs, you got one with the small boobs, but there's always the siblings. It's always the big brother. Like, big brother is always that. It's always the sibling is in the harem. And if you think about it, that's true. Masachika's in the harem now. Now he got two girls now. He's going to get a third and a fourth and a fifth, you know. It's going to continue there. So, we'll see how this goes. But again, I look forward for next week's episode of it. Let's see where this goes in terms of Alya's 1+1 2 vibe. I mean, like, trying to figure out who and as for Yuki's sake, she's going to be trolling this for a long time. So I look forward to it, and I'm sure you will.